Welcome to Tech with Heart. I am your host, Michelle Calloway, and today we are talking about the importance of your brand, but how when you have your branding like locked in, it can be so magnetic that it attracts people to you, but how you can then use technology to like take off and make more sales. So today we have a very special guest. Her name is Faith James, and she is an award-winning branding and a marketing expert. She's known as the queen of branding or the branding ninja. And so welcome to the Tech with Heart stage, Faith.
Thank you, Michelle. It is my great joy to be here. We are talking about my favorite topics, right? All things branding, all things tech, all things attracting magnetically your high value clients. So I can't wait to dig into it.
Yes, so I know for those of who follow Tech with Heart, Faith and we did an interview about a year ago. It feels like it's just been quite the year, hasn't it? Anyway, so what we were talking about then is how to create a magnetic brand, but now she's got some technology that she's going to be showing us as far as taking things and just going soaring. So Tech with Heart is all about empowering entrepreneurs to embrace technology so that they can stay competitive and relevant. But if you don't have your brand identity figured out, if you don't have your brand image created, then it's all going to kind of fall apart. Like you can spend tons of dollars on advertising, right? And then not see any results from that advertising because when people go to where you sent them from the ads, they're looking around, they're going, and so no credit cards are coming out of no wallets at that moment. So why is there a direct correlation between building a brand and generating more revenue? Faith, can you please enlighten us all?
Absolutely. And I love the way you set that up, this idea of spending money on whether it's Facebook ads, whether it's YouTube ads, whatever it might be, you're generating all of this traffic, we hope, and then you're sending them to your first point of destination. And whether that's a landing page that then takes them into another part of your experience, if that experience isn't mirror matching what it is that you put in the ad, because Michelle, let's think about this. How many people have you seen, they like buy stock photos or they'll do stock videos and they, spend money creating this really posh experience. But then the reality hits home when somebody actually lands and they want to do business. So I want everybody to think about the real estate industry. One of the things we know is what? Location, right? Number one. But then there's also this idea of the curb appeal. You'll hear realtors talking about this. They'll tell you to, rake the yard or, paint the outside, make it look attractive, because as people pull up, that's when the experience begins, right? So that's when they can actually start to see themselves in the home. And one of the things I like to say is, don't make your brand make you a liar, because you'll go out and say, I'm an expert, I am this, I am that. And then they get there and it's a letdown. So why there's a direct correlation, it's because people spend money for only one of two reasons. They need something or they want something. And in either of those scenarios, it's important that we remember that the consumer is not a moron. That is a famous quote from David Ogilvy: the consumer is not a moron. She's your mother, she's your wife, she's your whomever. And so as consumers, we're discerning. So Michelle, think about it. You're looking for, I don't know, a new camera, let's say, for your studio. Are you going to go and purchase it from somebody who just, came on the street and said, hey, I've got this like great, XLR camera that you can purchase? Or are you going to want to buy that camera from a reputable source that maybe it comes with some support, maybe it comes with some warranty, et cetera? So it's no different. We're not morons. We're not, for professionals, we're not buying our tech equipment from somebody out of the back of a truck. It just is not happening. So when you think about people who have the ability and the willingness to pay, they have disposable income, they want to make sure that that transaction is going to be mutually beneficial, also mutually safe. That yes, I'm going to hand over $2,000 to you for this particular equipment, and in exchange that you are trustworthy, that you are steeped with integrity, that you are going to stand behind this particular product. So when people feel safe, when they feel that they have this trust, we know we've talked about it before, people need to what? Right? Know, like, and trust. When you have all that baked into your brand, people are willing to spend more. And your brand essence, your brand image, your brand, I like to say everything about you speaks. It needs to be communicating value, expert, credibility, whatever those brand markers are for you, you want to make sure that you see that at every touch point in your brand. And so I always encourage people to do an audit. Pretend that you weren't you. Do a wall, we call it the wall test. Put every piece of your touch points, your website, picture of your Facebook page, picture of your IG, the whole thing, and look at it sort of standing back and say, would I hire me? Would I buy from this person? So important that we understand that, because the consumers are going to be discerning when it comes to spending, particularly talking about high value, high ticket items.
Yeah, so speak to us. Do you know what the statistic is? I mean, when somebody, especially the higher ticket items for sure, what is the percentage of people that research you before they make a buying decision? And then are they using social media more than, say, your website?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I talk about this stat all the time. It's north of 40%. So think about that. Almost half of the people are first going to make a stop on your social media. And it's mostly, because that's where people are right now. I mean, we talk about tech and the way that tech has really helped to increase and foster more communication, more business. They're going to your social landing pages, primarily either your Facebook or your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your website. Mm-hmm. They're going to look to see, is this person for real, right? Because now, everybody's so familiar now with robots, with bots from election, and, is this a person? Is this a real profile? People are becoming more savvy with that. So when they go to your social media platforms to check you out, they really want to make sure that this is even worth taking that step. And let me just say this to you, Michelle, you won't even know that they're there. So as you and I sitting here in your studio, we're having this conversation. Right now, people are on our mutual social media platforms and they're looking to see, is this person able to back up the things that they say? Do they look like they know what they're doing? Do they look like somebody that I would want to associate with? That's the first question. And then they'll come have a conversation. If your social media is a hot mess, you won't even know that they've come and gone. And I like to say they're just gone with the wind. They're just gone. You have no idea. Your social media platforms particularly can be costing you money. Not only is it not making you money, it could be losing money for you.
Yeah, those are such excellent points, because if you want to attract an A player and you're not putting yourself at an A level, then you are going to attract where, you as the leader of your company, for instance. I know you really focus a lot on personal branding, and it starts with the head of the company. If the head of the company is only able to take the company to this level, then that's as high as that company is going to ever go. So if you really want to elevate to the next level, and that's one of the things I know Revealio, the company that supports Tech with Heart, the primary source of support for Tech with Heart, is all about helping you go from expert to celebrity status, because it's about playing big. If you want to attract big, you got to play big, and you got to show up well at that level, professional, because it's about their brand. If they're an A brand and you're saying, that you can do this, and that for them, and you're a D brand level brand, then they're not going to want to downgrade like that. They're going to want to play with levels like so that you're not going to damage their brand whatsoever.
The problem is that business owners are losing millions of dollars of potential revenue each year because they don't know how to stand apart from the competition. I'm Michelle Calloway. I am the founder and CEO of Revealio, an augmented reality marketing tool that we've created for business owners like you to help you captivate people's attention.
Oh, that's so cool!
Influence their buying decisions.
I
like it.
Okay.
I like that a lot.
Oh, I want that. I love it.
We do this by making your brand or product come alive with virtual content. You can actually take a viewer through the entire buyer's journey in less than 60 seconds. It's super easy to do. Just send us your artwork, send us your video, and we'll connect them and make the magic happen. So Start standing out and influencing today.
I like to say you must be equally yoked to the customers and prospects that you're trying to attract, right? This idea of hiring up or recruiting up or selling up, that you know that people are looking to see, how can this person take me to the next level? They're not looking to do business with somebody that they know more. In fact, I had one of my colleagues, we had a conversation, I think maybe a month ago, and they said to me, oh, you know, I already have more than this person, this brand is trying to promote or sell to me. So why would they do business with that person? Because they happen to know me, right? It's, again, the consumer is not a moron. They're going to be discerning and they're going to spend their dollars wisely. So if you are looking to attract high value, high ticket, ideal 5-star clients, then you have to start acting that way. You have to start behaving that way. You have to start governing yourself that way. And it comes from a place of, what is the truth of where I can be? Because one thing I always say, you cannot go around thinking you're going to trick people. We don't do trickster stuff. We're not hoodwinking anyone. You have to, so importantly, you've got to stay in your lane and stand in your truth. But what are some things that you can do to start to reach up to that next level? And one of the things I talk about is, find your 12. We use the idea of Jesus had his 12 disciples. These are his core people that he spent the most time with. Who's in your 12? And if that's not getting into a company like with Revealio, spending more time with brands that are taking you to that next level. You may not understand all the tech right now, right? So that is why they would come to a company like Revealio or Tech with Heart, to get that assistance, to get that support, to help them say, you know what, I want to be seen as a more relevant current player. If your only source of touch points are sending a fax and signing a contract agreement, let us be the team that ushers you into the 21st century and help you to really lean into that, but not in a way that's going to be scary. And that's why I like the whole idea of, Tech with Heart, is that we can't push against it. We have to understand that, especially now, more people are doing business online. There are full companies, Michelle, that are not going back to having their employees come to a physical location anymore.
Yeah, we're seeing that a tremendous. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and people that work at Twitter and Salesforce, those guys, they're all like, oh yeah, wow, we like this virtual model. It works really well. And we are definitely in a virtual world. And so you need to be playing on a virtual level as well. I say that going forward, we're probably going to have more hybrid models. Even live events are going to be hybrid. So we really need to be embracing. And that is exactly why we started the whole Tech with Heart network, which is Tech with Heart Foundation, is a nonprofit. We are going to start doing even more live virtual events where we can give people a platform to be a speaker. We're going to give people a platform to network and not have to necessarily travel outside of their living room. But here, let's talk about that for a second, Faith. Let's just take a little segue, because if you're going to show up virtually at a networking event, it's still imperative that your personal brand is on point. Yes, may I say amen?
Yes, and amen. Listen, even more so, because if you think about it, right, we're in this rectangle. That is the square footage, if you will, if not even square footage, the inches that we have been allotted. It has to work even more critically and vitally important for you. It has to really communicate straight away. So for example, let's take your rectangle, right? You have 2 prime real estate that you have branded with your Revealio.
Can I share my virtual background too when I am also not able to be in my office? Okay, I'm going to show you, because I was just commenting on Faith's background. Okay, she has been blessed. She is a rock star, a diva, I would claim to say. She is phenomenal. She purchased a new home this year. Congratulations. Wasn't it 2020 or was it 2019? I can't remember.
We closed May of this year.
Okay, so yeah, even in the midst of all this hellacious activity, she's been blessed. But look at her background. That is real, you guys. That is real. So she doesn't even have to go pay for an office. She's got one right there at her home. I, on the other hand, I live in the Bay Area. I live in a small little place. I don't have an office at home. I don't want to work at home. Okay, that's me. I don't want to. I have an office I just walk 2 blocks down the street, and I have this space where I have my own, video studio and everything. So yeah, I try to use the prime real estate, but I also have a virtual background so that when I happen to be at home, or if I'm visiting, family or anywhere else, I'll show you what my virtual background looks like, because it's good to brand yourself.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing that, because, not everybody is going to have the space to, have this, this living room that I have behind me. But I love that, because now look what Michelle just did. She's just completely taken her background out of this scenario. You don't even know where she is, but what you're focusing on is the brand. And you have, number one, you've got those credibility markers, right? You're saying that you're a speaker, and, all of the different associations, and the fact that it's a, obviously minority and Black owned women.
And service disabled, veteran owned, because those are things that matter to people.
Exactly. And so those are elements that you are cueing about your brand, so that as and when you might be in an audience of people who are looking to partner with companies that have a very strong mission and have tethered that mission to their brand, you will be the one standing out. Let me also, since we're now in our virtual rooms, let's take a look at Michelle's name tag and look at mine. If you are within the sound of my voice, and you are on a Zoom and you are in business, you're trying to develop a brand, and your name just says iPhone 2421 or Galaxy 852. Let me encourage you to take a moment, and this is not that difficult. You go into your Zoom, edit profile. In the first name section, write your full name. And in the last name section, write the name of your company, or write the industry that you're in. So let's say if I was in real estate, where it says first name, I would put Faith James, and then where it says last name, I would do broker owner, and maybe I would do whatever. And then you save that, so that as and when you come onto a Zoom, people know who you are. If you're in a room of 40, 50 people and you're networking, you don't, again, remember, you don't have the benefit of having your name tag and you're walking around the room and chit-chatting. Somebody comes into a meeting 10 minutes later and they see Michelle speaking, they're not confused about who's that woman speaking and what does she do? It's right there on the screen. So some simple, easy ways. This is why, Michelle's all about tech with heart. It's simple and easy to do. It's not that difficult, but you must take the time to attend to it.
It matters. It matters, because if you ever present yourself off brand, that is the lasting impression that person has with you. And if you show up, without makeup, or with, if you don't need makeup, hallelujah, but I need makeup. So I'm just saying, and your hair's all a mess and you're wearing a spaghetti strap top and your bra straps are showing, or, I'm just saying, show up well. If you want people to respect you, you show up well, on brand.
Absolutely. You have to just be a little bit more disciplined about working with higher and valued clients. It just is. I see so many people, I want to monetize my brand, I want to do this, but then they don't take the time to do that work. They don't take the time to curate the experience, whether it's getting that virtual background or whether it's actually, Michelle, that those are physical pieces she has in her studio. You can get a step and repeat. Again, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. And I think that's one thing I wanted to point out is, if you're trying to attract high-end, high net worth clients and you're not willing to invest in the development of your own brand, it's sort of, it's two ships passing in the night. I did an insane productivity program with Darren Hardy of Success Magazine. And the one thing he said is, whatever your money goal is that you're saying, I want to, how many people say I want to be $1 million a year earner? You must plan on spending a minimum of 10% of that million on personal development, growth, and on your brand. There's no not something for nothing. And I think that's what sometimes, entrepreneurs, you get sort of flustered about, oh my gosh, I have to buy this thing and it's $50 a month and this. Yes, and yes, and yes. right? You must be willing.
And just to add to that, so 10%, thank you for that percentage, because I didn't know what the percentage was. I know that you have to spend money to make money. If you want to attract big players, you definitely need to invest to be able to play at that level, to appear at that level, and to not be empty with your promises, like she was saying. I really love that too, because that is a valid point. You need proof, like you need integrity. You need to have built already a brand for yourself. For me, for instance, Revealio has always been available for early stage companies, but now with our television broadcasting capabilities, we're able to set people up with their own TV channels, TV shows, and so I'm up leveling. And so since I'm new to this space, but my producer is not, I'm able to use her credibility for just being a representative of her agency, right? But also people know who I am. And so I've made a brand name for myself, that I am somebody who operates with integrity and transparency, and I am innovative, and I think outside the box, and I have the leadership skills, right? So I know I can get it done if I say I can get it done. But that investment that you're talking about, that 10%, if you're listening to this and you want to play bigger, but you feel frustrated because you don't have the capital in front of you right now, I know Corona has just devastated so many small businesses. I want you to know that there is hope. Believe me, I ended up needing some financial funding this year. And I thought, oh man, nobody's going to ever let me borrow money, because, my revenue model wasn't really where I needed it to be to prove to get a loan. But that's not the only way to secure funding right now. So if you are interested in learning how I secured some funding, please just give us a comment in the sections below, and I'll reach out to you. Let's have a conversation. Don't feel like there's no hope for you because you don't have money. It's just a matter of making sure you're using that money wisely and get your priorities straight. And if you don't have the brand, right, Faith, if you don't have the brand, you're not going to be able to attract. The laws of attraction are real.
Absolutely. It's so real. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because this idea of, I don't know where to start, I don't have the money, therefore I'm just going to sit and do nothing. You and I probably know well the story in the Bible where there's this man was, paralyzed and sitting by the pool. And when the angels would go by, the water would be rushed up and everybody jumps in and they get healing. But because he's paralyzed, he's been, he's like, oh, I can't. And what did Jesus say? Do you want to get,
yeah.
Do you want to be healed? And you might think like, Captain Obvious Jesus, of course he wants to be healed. He's paralyzed. He's been trying to get in this pool for the longest time. But that's the question you must ask yourself. Do you want to be healed? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to win? Because if you do, you must take action. I like to say this, Michelle, you can make excuses or you can make money, but you can't do both.
Very good, Faith. I like her so much. She's so real. She'll just straight up slap you upside the head and say, do you want it? Do you want it?
It's like Jesus said, do you want to be healed? I do brand therapy Thursday, every Thursday. And in therapy, in session, I'm just bringing the truth, because otherwise, if I just pat you on the back and say, oh, that's so nice and pretty, it's not going to help anybody. So having funding is a way of demonstrating to yourself, yes, I do want to be healed. Yes, I do want to move forward and sort out ways that you can. I mean, I've taken loans and done capital so many different times in my business when I've had to put on an event. And, as small business owners, your cash flow sometimes will be erratic and unpredictable, but you can't let that be the excuse. Go get the funding. So if you're in that boat, check in with Michelle and see what she did. But don't let that be an excuse why you haven't built your brand. Don't let that be an excuse why your website is still saying under construction. I'll give you an example of how this is so real. So I've been very much somebody who partners with people who are aligned to my business and to my brand. And of course, people who are aligned with integrity. And I was having a conversation with another colleague of mine, and they said, oh, this person, because I think I was looking for to recommend a couple people to another group. Like, oh, this person does this thing, and so check them out. And she sent me over the information, and when I saw the communication between the two of them, it was, oh, my website is down or whatever. Anyway, so I clicked on it of what was there, and it was a non-starter for me. Now, we did not even have a conversation about her ability to do the work. We didn't have a conversation about whether this person was really skilled and adept at the work that they do. She could have been the baddest thing in town. She could have been it. But the image, the brand did not present that. So her brand in that instance made her a liar. So like, I'm not going to present you to this group to say, hey, here's somebody that I recommend, highly recommended, because I have to ruthlessly protect the interest of my brand and my people and everything that I'm associated with. So that's just a real example of how not taking the time, how being lazy, if I could go that far, and not saying this is important enough that I'm going to carve out the time on the calendar, hire it done, right? Michelle and her team do tons of different, creative development. Hire it done. Either, this is what I say, invest your time to learn. There are plenty of how-tos on YouTube. You're either going to invest your time to learn to do it if you don't have the money, or you're going to get the money and hire it done. Either way, those are your two steps. You're not sitting down going, oh my gosh, I couldn't get on that thing because don't be like the crippled man where Jesus says, do you want to be healed? Move like you want to be healed.
So Faith, let's just really move towards what it is that you're so excited to share with us as far as a newer technology that you got on board with that's going to not only bless your business with higher visibility and bigger return on sales, but it's also going to be a mega blessing for anybody that gets on board. So can you share a little bit about this new partnership that you've developed?
Absolutely. So for those of you who are familiar with AppSumo, you will know what I mean when I say they are like the Amazon of the tech world when it comes to application and software productivity, business solutions. AppSumo is it. So Michelle, I was trying to remember for our segment today, how did I even come to be in the presence of AppSumo? I mean, I've been as a customer, I mean, I've bought tons and tons of products from them, but how they found me to become a course creator, I'm just going to say it's God. Leave it at that. The point is that my brand stays built because you don't know when somebody could be looking, they're observing you. All I know is I got an email from the VP development saying, hey, we'd like you to be a course creator on AppSumo. And I was like, oh, wow, sure. So I went ahead, built the course. So the course is called the Brand Accelerator Online Course and Accountability Program. I've been selling that program for $8.97. It's a one-time payment fee, and you get me in the program for life. So that's been happening. We probably have now maybe close to 40 people already enrolled. Well, because it's AppSumo and they're known for these amazing lifetime deals, it's only $97 one time. You have me, Faith James, a Fortune 500, 25 plus year, as Michelle said, award-winning branding expert, to help you guide you along your brand development journey for life. It's not a year program. You're like, it's not a year program. It's not a 2-year program. It is for life. And so you are in a private group. It's called the Brand Accelerator Lounge, where every single day, week, and month, we're doing brand momentum stuff. We are doing challenges to help you get into momentum. We're working on goals. We're doing things to help you do copy. We're doing role play. We're doing video presentation work to help you really stand out when you do get on a Zoom, et cetera. So this is a massive, massive deal to be partnered with AppSumo, to be on their platform. And for everybody listening, this is such a blessing for you, because I joke about even when it was $8.97, I would say this is like a bank robbery in the middle of the day and all the cops are at a meeting downtown and nobody's watching the bank, because for $8.97 to have a lifetime deal to work with a coach for life and have also the digital course that is self-paced, you can go through. There are 10 modules. They're going to be updated as we go. There's how-to videos that I've recorded, how to get your own name domain, how to do this, how to do that. That's all going to be there for $97. I can't think of a better way to start off the holiday season. I tell people, when you're buying gifts for people and yourself, buy a gift for your business. And this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving. It just does not get any better.
No, I absolutely am so thrilled. And that is exactly why I wanted you to come on. Merry Christmas, everybody. And those of you who are listening to this later, this offer is not just a Christmas special. Faith is just phenomenal to work with. She is the real deal. So I highly recommend you go to AppSumo and you look up, what is the name of the course again, Faith?
It's called the Brand Accelerator online course and accountability program. If you search Brand Accelerator, you will see it. It'll pop up. When you purchase the deal for 97, you will get a code. And with that code, you're then taken to where you need to redeem. Once you're redeeming, if you're listening to this broadcast and it says who referred you, please put Michelle Calloway. And that's how Michelle will get credit for bringing you this early Christmas gift that's going to keep on giving. And then you are in, you get immediately added to the private Facebook group. You get a special welcome, all the accelerators in there just waiting to cheer you on. And that's one of the best things for me that I love is this idea that even as a solopreneur, you don't have to do this thing alone. This thing called building a brand and trying to be the CEO of you. You don't have to do it alone. You can come on this journey with us where we're all supporting each other, acting as a crew, moving along, celebrating, giving ideas. So many people end up doing business with each other in that group anyway. It just becomes a natural de facto sort of networking opportunity as well.
Well, I'm so excited that we had this chance to get together, and thank you so much, Faith, for giving us such a beautiful gift for life even. Whew, I know I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump on this bandwagon because Faith, she's just awesome people, but she definitely knows her stuff. And I know I can continue to sharpen up, especially now that I'm really going after bigger players in the broadcasting space. I'm going after masters of their craft. I want to help launch masters into the world of broadcasting and influence. And we do mobile apps. Yeah, we can help.
Taking your brand to the next level, having your own network, your own television show, your own television station. Yeah, it's all good stuff.
Your own mobile app. Yeah, so we're going to go big. So
Yes.
thank you for, we're going to put a link to the AppSumo in the, but can you go to AppSumo on the internet, or do you have to go over your mobile phone app?
No, you can go to AppSumo anywhere. It's appsumo.com. So appsumo.com. You search Brand Accelerator course, it will pop up. You'll purchase it. The one-time deal, it's $97. It'll get an email off to you. It'll take you to the redemption page. You'll fill out your name in your email and it says who referred you, type in Michelle Calloway and hit.
And then start growing without feeling like you had to look at the investment, you guys. You're investing in yourself. This is a no-brainer. For those of you, thank you so much that are listening. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Tech with Heart show today. And if you feel that you would be a great person to interview that would bring value back to our entrepreneurial audience, please just reach out to us at techwithheartnetwork.com. 2021 is going to be a new year for Tech with Heart. We're going to start doing a whole lot more networking events. So stay tuned. You can join our mailing list, techwithheartnetwork.com. Just go there and join our mailing list. Thank you so much, Faith, for blessing us with your offer and your presence and your knowledge today. And I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas.